Hey, it's Andy from Antek Automation. Today I want to talk about FOMO, fear of missing out, and why it's the worst possible reason to adopt AI in your business. Every week another headline screams about AI transforming everything, your competitors are mentioning their new chatbot, your suppliers banging on about their AI powered platform, and suddenly you're thinking, should we be doing this too? Stick around, I've got 6 tips that could save you thousands and actually help you make a smart decision about AI. Here's a scenario I see constantly. A business owner, maybe a plumber, an electrician, an IT support firm, reads an article about AI, signs up to some platform, and 3 months later they're still paying the subscription but nobody's really using it. The tools don't fit the workflow, the staff weren't properly brought along, and now there's a general sense that AI just doesn't work for businesses like theirs. That's not an AI problem. That's a FOMO problem. A recent survey found that poorly planned AI implementations waste an average of £15,000 to £25,000 for small businesses. That's not play money, that's hiring, that's marketing, that's equipment that actually generates returns. The issue isn't the technology, it's the motivation behind the decision. When you buy AI because everyone else seems to have it, rather than because you have a specific problem it solves, you're almost guaranteed to waste the investment. Right, tip number 1, start with the problem, not the tool. Before you even look at a single AI product, write down the specific problem you're trying to solve. And I mean specific, not we want to be more efficient, but something like we spend 12 hours a week manually chasing unpaid invoices, or we miss about 30% of inbound calls after hours, and those are lost jobs. If you can't name the problem clearly, you're not ready to buy a solution. The question, what are our competitors doing, is not a problem. It's a distraction. Number 2, put a number on it. Once you've identified the problem, work out what it actually cost you in hours, in lost revenue, in staff time. If chasing invoices takes 12 hours a month and your admin's time costs you 20 quid an hour, that's £240 a month in labour before you even count the cash flow impact of late payments. Now you've got a benchmark. Any AI tool you consider needs to save you more than it costs. Subscription fees, setup time, training, the lot. If you can't see a clear return within 6 months, it's not the right tool right now. Tip 3, look for the genuinely repetitive stuff. The tasks best suited to AI are repetitive, rule-based, and time-consuming. In service businesses, that means appointment scheduling, initial inquiry responses, invoice generation, and payment follow-ups. These happen constantly, follow predictable patterns, and don't need complex human judgment. Avoid the marketing fluff, AI-powered insights that tell you obvious things, chatbots that frustrate more than help. The test is simple. Does this save me specific, measurable hours each week? If yes, explore it. If not, move on. By the way, there's a full written version of this on the blog if you want the detail. Links in the show notes. Now, number 4, be honest about whether you're ready. AI probably makes sense if you're spending 5 or more hours a week on repetitive admin or missing revenue because you can't respond fast enough. But it probably doesn't make sense yet if your processes are unclear, you haven't maxed out simpler tools like a basic CRM, or you're on thin margins with no room for investment. I say this as someone who implements AI for businesses. It genuinely isn't the right move for everyone right now. Being honest about readiness saves you a lot of wasted money. 5, and this is the one most people skip, budget for the full cost, not just a subscription. You've got setup and integration, typically £500 to £3,000 depending on complexity. Training, 10 to 20 hours of staff time minimum, and ongoing management, a couple of hours a month to monitor and tweak. A realistic first year budget for purposeful AI automation in a small service business is £2,000 to £8,000. That should pay for itself, but only if you've done tips 1 through 4 first. BK tag 0 and tip 6, get your team involved early. This is where so many implementations fall over. The business owner decides to adopt a new AI tool, announces it to the team, and then wonders why nobody's using it properly 3 months later. If the people who will actually use the technology day to day aren't part of the decision, they won't trust it and they won't champion it. Bring your key people in during the evaluation stage. Ask them which tasks feel like the biggest time drains. Show them what the tool actually does before you buy it. And when you do implement it, give them proper training, not just a link to a how-to video. At Antek, when we set up automation for a client, we spend time with their team so everyone understands the why as well as the how. That's what makes it stick. So to recap, 1. Start with a specific problem, not a tool. 2. Put a number on what that problem costs you. 3. Target genuinely repetitive tasks, not shiny AI features. 4. Be honest about whether your business is actually ready. 5. Budget for the full implementation cost, not just a subscription. And 6. Get your team involved from the start, because the best AI tool in the world will sit unused if the people who need to operate it aren't on board. FOMO is expensive, strategy is profitable. Choose accordingly. That's your quick tip for today. If you want to see how AI automation can help your business, head to antekautomation.com or give us a bell on 0333 038 9960. BKTAGOGA.